Figurino is a 5-star merchant specialist. He originally released alongside Vulpes Foglia and Lapland the Decadenza in the We Mischievous Few banner during the E Portatori dei Voluti event, but is now available from standard headhunting. Figurino, real name Luchino di Montano, has no combat experience whatsoever, likely due to him being a tailor as his previous job. He stands at 165 centimeters tall, was born on the 21st of January in Syracuse, and is of the Lupo race. In his archive file and promotion record, it's noted that the name Di Montano may be little known aboard Rhode Island's main ship, but in Syracuse it's synonymous with fine tailoring, and the current proprietor, Luchino, wasted no time joining the flagship after an eager referral from the branch. Though his arrival caused little stir, Orchid, an avid writer on traditional suits, was thrilled, collaborating with him on articles, prototypes, and slogans that sparked a fashion wave across the ship. With the uniform policy being loose, operators soon sported pocket squares, vests, and tweed coats, proudly modeling Luchino's work. Still, he bristles at the term Western-style suits, insisting Syracuse was the true origin before the style spread westward. The tailor Di Montano's history is stitched with fantastical tales. Umberto learning to sew from a giant wolf, rescuing young Figurino from a cloth doll that tried to unravel him, and warning of a metal man who stretches children under twin moons. Though Figurino now knows these were stories Umberto invented, he cherishes them for how they lit up the eyes of Rhode Island's children and comforted young patients at bedtime. To outsiders, Orchid's articles paint the shop as charming, but Figurino's fables make it a mystical wonderland of wolves, dolls, and mysterious visitors. Still, when a doll appeared at his bedside one night, even he couldn't keep his ears from trembling. As a teen, Figurino traded Umberto's fairy tales for Syracusan mafia films and novels, picking up street slang and self-defense arts that helped him pass Rhode Island's operator tests despite no real combat experience. His familia adventures proved far less glamorous than fiction, and meeting real-life mafia big shots shattered his illusions, yet he remains a devoted film club member. While many Syracusans dismiss the genre as foreign fantasy, Figurino treasures its unsung side characters, the quiet, principled figures who shield innocence or stand for justice, seeing them as the true big shots both on screen and in life. After Umberto's death, offers to buy or partner with tailor Di Montano poured in, tempting Luchino to sell, not for the money, but from doubt over matching his predecessor's success. Writing Umberto's obituary and sending it to customers brought an outpouring of heartfelt condolences and even advance orders, reminding him of the shop's enduring spirit. Surrounded by familiar fabrics, scissors, and the memory of every vigorous stitch, Luchino realized he could craft his own legend with the same simple tools. Umberto's story had ended, but Luchino's was just beginning, carrying the Syracusan legacy to Rhode Island. Though tailor Di Montano is temporarily closed, Figurino has set up a modest workshop at Rhode Island, offering everything from mending to custom orders with the same precision Umberto once showed. More than a mentor, Umberto taught him lessons that went far beyond tailoring, shaping his craft and character alike. Now, with just a measuring tape, fabric, and scissors, Figurino continues to hone his skills and carry forward the old man's legacy. Figurino is confirmed to be non-infected. He has a cell originum assimilation of 0% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.11 parts per liter. The notes in his medical file state that Figurino rarely comes into contact with originum. In his character art, drawn by Fivefall, Figurino wears a white and light blue striped collared shirt with green necktie that has 2 clips on it, a cream-colored suit vest on top, and a half-worn red suit jacket on his right side, a red cap with multiple buttons, light gray suit pants, a leather satchel on his right side with multiple sewing tools, reams of cloth to his left, as well as multiple rulers, needles, and right angles. Measuring tape around his left arm, a ring on his right ring finger, and brown leather dress shoes. He holds a large pair of cloth scissors in his left hand, which have a long piece of red string around its blades. In his voice lines, voiced by Junta Terashima, who also voices Kosuke Sakanami and Takeharu Futamata in Haikyuu, Takumi Kijima in Ao-chan Can't Study, Code in Boruto, Shin Ichijo in King of Prism, Fumiya Sugiura in Judgment, and Ifa in Genshin, Figurino often talks of clothes and tailoring.
僕が店で助手をしていた時、100人以上のお客さんの布地の好みや、裾の長さ、袖口にボタンを何個縫い付けるか、など、ノート何冊も書いたんですからね。ロドスの書類があれよりも複雑なんてことは、こんなに、この糸口はこっちの、あれはあっちの、またごちゃごちゃしてる。何がおかしいですか？仕立て屋だって糸は絡まるんですよ。バックルはカルネバーレの屋台で買ったもので、サスペンダーは使い古した革のメジャー、ヘアピンは待ち針を改造したやつ。それに、模様も全部自分で刺繍したものです。派手すぎ。これは、一番見栄えのするシラクーザスタイルなんですよ。あなたのセンスもそろそろ今時に合わせないと。仕立て屋にいるのも悪くないですよ。例えば、僕には友人が2人いましたが、1人が警察学校に、もう1人がファミリーの扉を叩いてから、お互い一切口を聞かなくなりました。でも僕は仕立て屋にいて、2人はどちらもお客さんですから、服を作るときは、やはり僕のところに来なければいけないわけです。僕もかつては、シラクーザの偉い人になりたかったですが、祖父はメジャーと立ちばさみの持ち方しか教えてくれませんでした。でも、祖父がたくさんの大物たちから尊敬されてたのも、やはりメジャーとハサミのおかげでした。まだまだ学ぶことは多いですが、今は新しい服を仕立てるところから始めたいと思っています。まずはこの角を折って、次はこのように2回折って、最後は首に巻きます。おっと、今の服ではこのスカーフが合いませんね。いっそのこと、僕がシラクーザ式の一揃いを作って差し上げましょうか。ちょうど新しい服を作る練習をしなければなりませんので、遠慮はいりませんよ。
At E2 level 80 with max trust, potential, and module, Figurino has 2,813 HP, 861 attack, 411 defense, 0 resistance, a 22-second redeployment time, 6 DP cost, 1 block, and has a 1-second attack speed. His range is the standard range for merchant specialists. At max trust, he gets plus 240 HP, plus 25 attack, and plus 20 defense. At max pot, he gets minus 2 DP cost, minus 3 seconds to redeploy, plus 25 attack, and a buff to his talent. His talent, Select Your Customers, at E2 Pot 4, makes it so that Figurino deals plus 25% damage when attacking enemies that are not blocked by him. Figurino has one base skill, which is upgraded at E2. His base skill, Tailoring Art, is upgraded to Proficient Artistry when he reaches E2, and makes it so that when Figurino is assigned to a factory, it gets plus 25% productivity and plus 6 capacity. Figurino's first skill, Tailor's Measure, gains SP over time and is automatically triggered, with all levels starting with 0 SP and having an infinite duration. Level 7 needs 5 SP to proc, while M3 needs 4. At level 7, Figurino gains plus 1 attack range and plus 40% attack. At M3, it's plus 60% attack. His second skill, Lock Stitch, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, with all levels needing 8 SP to proc and lasting for 8 seconds. Level 7 starts with 3 SP, while M3 starts with 5. At level 7, Figurino stops attacking and binds up to 4 enemies in his range, dealing 130% of his attack as physical damage to the bound enemies every second. When the skill is active, it gradually consumes 25 DP. At M3, it's 160% of his attack as physical damage. Figurino has an MER-X module named the Big Shot, which makes it so that Figurino consumes 2 DP instead of 3 every 3 seconds when deployed. At module level 3, the Big Shot fully upgrades Select Your Customers, making it so that Figurino deals plus 35% damage at max pot when attacking enemies that aren't blocked by him. He also gains plus 220 HP and plus 70 attack. To unlock and fully upgrade this module, you must have Figurino at E2 level 50, have 100 trust with him, complete a total of 5 battles with your own Figurino, deploying him twice and having him defeat at least 4 enemies, 3-star stage 5-8, having your own Figurino bind enemies at least 12 times with his S2, and have 6 module data blocks, 20 data patching strips, 8 data patching devices, 3 polymerized gels, 4 grindstone pentahydrates, 5 ore rock concentrations, and 150,000 LMD. Merchant specialists are always a strange case to me, since you need to balance the deployment of other operators while keeping your amount of DP up so they don't retreat. And much like other merchant specialists, Figurino plays both an offensive and supportive role on the battlefield. A good example of this is his talent, where he's able to deal increased damage to enemies, but only when he's not blocking them, achieving this by being in the pincer formation with a defender, for example. His skills are extremely easy to proc as well, since both only need about 4 to 8 SP, equivalent to waiting 4 to 8 seconds. His S1, although simple, increases his attack range and attack stat, allowing him to stand behind a defender or other unit like you would with Blaze's S2, Neralter's S1, or a Lord Guard. This is also to Figurino's advantage, as it allows his talent to proc. His S2, on the other hand, is again him being an offense-based support, as Figurino binds up to 4 enemies, hitting them 8 times over 8 seconds, dealing up to 160% of his attack every second. This is greatly useful, at least from what I found, when dealing with enemies such as skimming sea drifters or Dublin flying soldiers, when they're originally hovering but can be knocked down when bound or stunned. Figurino isn't without his drawbacks as expected, though. The main crux of his, and every other merchant specialist in general, is their DP consumption. Without the MER-X module, all merchants consume 3 DP every 3 seconds, while it's 2 DP every 3 seconds with the module. This means you'll either need a Vanguard or some other way of generating DP to make sure you're not running low, or else they'll retreat. Figurino's DP consumption is further elevated by his S2, since it consumes a massive 25 DP over the course of its 8 seconds. So, while it does have a low SP cost of 8, you're not going to be using it one after the other unless you have a lot of DP stored, or you want him to retreat. Planning when to deploy Figurino as to not block others from being deployed, as well as deciding to have a Vanguard for a constant stream of DP for his S2 are key. Overall, Figurino can be quite useful in many situations, such as dealing additional damage from behind a guard or defender, being the second part in a pincer formation, or crowd control with his S2. But you do need a Vanguard to support him if you want to use his S2 often. Medium, maybe medium-high priority to raise. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Azure Lane and Girls Frontline videos as well. Come back tomorrow for next week's character and story teasers.